Welcome in, everybody. We are here talking Heroic Disgrace with author Scott Box.
Hello, Clint.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Whatever.
That's a baseball guy, right? Come on.
That's a good start.
Come on, is that Vin Scully?
Maybe.
Oh, I would hate to give it to Vin Scully because
I don't
he's
think that
got
was Vin.
everything else. Come
Yeah,
on.
Vin does have everything. Well, when you announce for 60 years,
He's a legend.
you're gonna have
legend. We
a
can't
lot of
start with this.
opportunities.
Now it's all downhill from here. Just start with
With
Vin
Vin.
Scully. We're talking Rampage. Rampage.
yes, like the video game,
Yes.
Dwayne The Rock
That
Johnson.
is The Rock.
Do you remember that movie?
He's
It just came out a couple
awesome.
years ago.
I-
The white gorilla or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't see the movie, but I did play the video
was a
game
dumb
on
movie. It
arcade,
was a
banging
dumb
the joysticks and the arcade, climbing the building, going faster,
we
trying
were
to come
little
on,
kids.
smashing it up.
Yeah, we were little when that one came out. But
Man,
yeah, Rampage.
I don't think
That's-
kids nowadays know what arcades are, do they? Is that a thing? It is a thing, by the way,
Maybe it is.
in Indiana where we were at, New Albany, I believe it was. There is a place, I think it's called Rec Bar. I might be screwing this up because
That's
I
a
keep
pretty cool
calling it
name,
that.
though, Rec Bar.
But it's like 10,000 square feet of 80s and video games and a
Nice.
dinner. It's so rad. Anyway, restaurant, all that.
So like
anyway,
Chuck E. Cheese on steroids?
yeah, but all dark and black lights
Ooh,
and
shoot.
colorful.
Is Chuck E. Cheese like a West Coast thing?
I don't know.
Anyway, that Chuck E. Cheese was a pizza
That was
place.
fun. Chuck E. Cheese was fun.
And video games. And yeah, anyway.
We used to have to go to Salem to do that. Well, now that you've rampaged our whole show with Chuck E. Cheese,
Let's go. Let's talk
I was
about
talking
this.
about cool, and you went kitty.
Yeah,
Chuck E.
that's
Cheese is
all
a mouse, like, ooh.
right. Well, it was cool when we were kids.
True. And if Chuck E. Cheese was our sponsor, which now they should be, I would talk a lot better about Chuck E. Cheese.
Dude,
But-
their pizza sucked.
Yeah.
Man. That was not good
It's
pizza.
like Little Caesar.
Kind of like Little Caesar. Man, we've
$5
lost.
pizza. Yeah, now we're
we've
off
lost
the
all
rails.
those people.
All right, welcome back. We're talking Heroic Disgrace with author Scott Box. If you missed the interlude to this whole conversation, we don't apologize. Today we're talking illicit drug. We're talking illicit drugs today. We really want to get to the meat of this subject that we chase happiness as a drug.
Okay.
We chase joy as a drug, and we don't want to live in any moments of trial or sadness. As I can say this as human beings, but mostly probably as Americans, we're chasing the illicit drug of happiness all the time. As you just mentioned in the last episode, being diagnosed with bipolar 2, your highs are high, your lows are depression and super low.
Yeah.
How do we stay in the middle? How do we stay in a good place?
I know that what I struggled with was those times in my life when I was probably on the high side of mania or of hypomania. Probably I wasn't in full-blown mania, but I was dealing with I've explained this to you before personally, but where the lights were super bright and the sounds were super loud and I had to get out of my clothes and dealing with it was hard. Is that the question? The question is, how do you deal with it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. You just were saying you wanted to get out of your clothes. I thought this was a weird, like, rampage.
No, I'm not going to get naked on you.
We're getting this is like the Hulk. Why did the Hulk
No.
not get clothes that were bigger, right? Okay. Anyway, so no, what? Yeah, I mean, and what I'm really trying to get at here is that in our culture, we all might be becoming a bit bipolar in that we're always trying to live high and happy, and we're self-medicating to get there with all sorts of things. Off air, you had brought up that pornography is a form of self-medication, which I had never thought in realms of this, but it is. It changes your blood pressure. It changes your excitement level. It gets you to this higher place for a bit, just like heroin or meth or alcohol or whatever it might be, marijuana as well, okay? Like, we have to say anything that you're using to get happier is self-medication. And this takes self-discipline to break this habit.
It does. And yet, self-discipline isn't always enough. In other words, what we all understand is that it's like if self-discipline is one of the pillars that holds the roof up. There's other aspects there's other pillars that need to be there too, other supports.
Right.
Self-discipline alone was incapable of getting me through the finish line. That's a bad analogy, but through the finish line, getting myself healthy was not achievable entirely by self-discipline because I couldn't be self-disciplined on my own. I know that's a little tricky, but I needed my counselor. I needed Carrie Ann. I needed a lifestyle change. I needed consistency that I talked about earlier in another episode. But even consistency alone couldn't do it. I needed all of those pillars. I needed my walk, my friendship with Jesus to dial in, because just willing myself through it wouldn't stop it.
Right. And you said in the last subsection that we just went over, Bipolar Basics, the more consistency, the more stability. So if you can do something consistently each time, making small adjustments, you can create more stability in your life. And that's the key, right? Other than accountability that you mentioned, that was how you were able to build self-discipline. What would you say are some consistent behaviors that have helped you?
Ooh.
Got him.
Yeah.
Zing.
Well, specifics are good.
What do you do consistently?
Because it needs. We got to make this practical for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it
just some consistent habits. Some people need to go to church consistently. Maybe that helps. Some people maybe need to be involved in like a study group together. That helps consistently get you better grades. What are some consistent habits that you make in your daily life?
Yeah.
That you do, make sure you do consistently.
Right. I had a very short list of things that had to get done every single day. And I didn't have to do them at the exact same time because that was difficult for me. And so we changed the rules. The rules that was one of the things. We changed the rules. So we can talk about that more later. But for example, I needed to brush my teeth. I needed to drink. I would get up every morning. I still do every single morning. And I drink 32 ounces of water.
Then and there.
I get up and I drink 32. I go pee.
Chug it? Is this healthy?
I go pee and then I drink 32 ounces of more water.
Check my doctor recommendations here.
No, and then I proceed to do that 3 more times throughout the day.
Water is key, by the way.
Oh, it's gigantic in its ability and there's some symbolism there too of just flushing the system. I mean, it's amazing.
It's like an internal baptism, what you're doing every day.
It's internal baptism, totally. And yes, you pee a lot, and it sucks because it's disruptive. But it is a part of the routine.
Yeah.
As far as other things, I work out upwards of 90 minutes a day. Most people don't have time for that.
Right.
But you do have time for 30 minutes a day.
Right.
I take my medication every day. I am dedicated to, there's a section coming up, dedication to medication. For me, that is critical component. So exercise, from a spiritual standpoint, when I think of the wholeness of the person, I think, mind, body, spirit. Right. The mind is being addressed with the medication component. The body is being addressed with physical activity
and water.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, check the boxes on any of those things. The mind piece can include counseling,
right?
But the spiritual component is also there in regard to my absolute dedication to a friendship with Jesus.
Right.
I have to spend time in the Word, and I have to work through the aspects of what we've worked on, the heroism component.
Absolutely.
Hope, expect, rest, obey, and cycle through that. I want to have and I want to live a worship hero story.
Right. So, do you do any illicit drugs?
No.
I'm trying so hard to have a straight face. I can't do like
well, I
John
do
C.
take
Reilly
part of my cocktail is amphetamine salts.
Okay.
So speed. is a part of it.
So you're on speed.
Yeah, but it works opposite for me. This is what's so crazy,
Okay.
is the way that the chemicals are.
Right.
I cannot focus without it well.
Okay.
I can focus. I can take naps on amphetamine salt.
Okay.
I mean, I actually lay down and
Right.
can rest. It quiets the
Interesting.
mind. This is the trip that bipolar disorder chemically is for me.
Now, you wouldn't call those illicit drugs because those are prescribed. So just so you know, this isn't something you bought.
Well, it
from-
would be illicit for somebody else, but it is prescribed, yes. And it's
Do you have any of that laying around? I want to be focused.
yeah.
Jokes. Okay, jokes.
No, it'll help you lift a ton of weights in
Ooh,
the
there we
weight
go.
room.
Yeah,
You want to just get
jacked.
Anyway.
So that's not what we're here to do. We're here to get you all focused on illicit drugs. That's this one.
no. It's healthy to talk about it
Right.
though.
Absolutely. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to say, hey, instead of chasing those highs, chase consistency. Right? Now, you should have some consistency in your life. You should have great things. You should be able to go to the park and play baseball with your kid and have a great time and that be joyful to you, not have to drink yourself to sleep every night to get joy before you
Right.
fall asleep, right? Or you shouldn't have to shoot up something before you go to a ball game to gain joy. Yeah.
Okay.
Jump
So
in.
no, this is good. This is you reminded me of part of the journey that I've been on, and you can go back through my journals, and that's part of something that I think eventually I'll bring into the ministry. But this idea that I struggled desperately to be the husband that I wanted to be the father that I wanted to be, and when I was overweight and oh man, you just start checking those boxes of bad, unhealthy.
Right, of
You know,
course.
I'm wrecking myself.
When you weren't using self-discipline
Yeah,
in any
exactly.
category of your life. Yeah.
There was the shame of being unable to and projecting myself into the future, unable to throw a ball with my son, or unable to rally myself to have enough energy to get out the door to see my daughter's dance thing,
Right.
or
Right.
those things were very difficult when I realized that I couldn't, or I wanted to will myself into those things, but I needed help to do it. And then there came a time where I was able to, because I had been managing myself well, there was a time that I was able to go, I'm going to do this.
Right.
And it got easier as time went on.
By building in those consistencies, by becoming self-disciplined, using the accountability that's built in all around us, whether it's your parents, whether it's your friends, whether it's your church members, whatever it might be. I don't care who it is. Get some accountability. Share with someone your struggles, and you can then get better, right? Would you say life's better now that you're huffing bath salt? I mean, sorry, what do you call them?
Bath salt,
Amphetamine
which is pretty
salts?
good. But bath salts are good if it's the right smell. I'm telling you what, not to do
This
anything.
is a drug, like,
no.
We're in the-
Is life
I'm
better?
taking advantage of being in the drugs episode.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
okay.
Yeah, is life better right now that you're? I mean, that's the only way you're able to write this. The only way you're able to
Yeah.
stand right now, and even for me to come over and to validate
Right.
the changes
you
that
for
I've heard
recognizing
of and seen in your life.
Thank you.
So, is life better now that you have
I will never go
gone
back
through these? There you go.
by choice.
There you go.
I will never go back by choice.
And that could be slipping into laziness, right? Would take you right back.
100%. Yeah, or thinking that I'm better.
Let's hear that. Let's hear your last thought on this.
So this is important, and I think I can do this quickly. The idea that believing that I'm for some reason and somehow I'm better and I can just take my hands off the wheel
Right.
is the dumbest, most foolish thing that I could do.
Asinine.
Well, that's a great word. That's
love
a
that
great
word.
word. Well,
Had to slip it in.
nice. And I recognize that that's one of the temptations that we all have, but I know in particular folks that are struggling with disorders or diseases or whatever, to you get to this place where you're feeling healthy and you're like, cool, I don't need to take my medication
Right.
anymore, or
Yeah.
cool, I can stop working out, or cool, I can stop drinking water, or cool, I don't need to spend time with those people that matter in my life. No, that's stupid.
Right.
And don't be stupid.
Don't get lazy.
Don't get lazy.
Don't stop pushing, right?
Yeah, which then goes to and circles around to the one primary pillar of discipline. Be self-disciplined.
I like this. So we've got Heroic Disgrace with author Scott Box. You can find this book. It is not big. I mean, come on. This is no like
It's a quick read.
Bible. This
It's
is a
a
quick
quick read.
read. You could probably do this in a weekend, but it could change your life forever if you can understand. Both Scott and myself have been in very dark places, gone through very, very hard times, could not maybe be here possibly without the grace of Jesus. Through God's grace for us, we're able to sit here and tell you there's hope. I promise you there's hope. I promise you are not alone. And we're only doing this to say, hey, we're here with you. Let's get it done. Let's figure it out. You can get Heroic Disgrace anywhere books are sold. Amazon, obviously, just mentioned. And connect with us on social media. Check out what we're posting, what Scott's posting, doing all the editing on these. And we're going to continue putting out some quality stuff for you to listen to. Hopefully, stuff that you're able to apply to your life. And we only want the best for you. So join us on the next episode. Thanks for tuning in.